Hi guys, and welcome to Studio Wildlife. In this video I'm going to show you how to paint this koala. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to give it a like and subscribe to our channel, it really means a lot. I've bought a new sketchbook. It's a tiny little Moleskin sketchbook that I just wanted to do and use for my animal drawings and animal sketches. Nothing particularly good, just doodles mostly, but I just thought I'd get started by doing a painting. So I start masking taping the edges. And then I use an acrylic primer or a gesso to coat that page to make sure the paint doesn't sink through when I'm actually painting. So I just use this acrylic gesso with a brush, and I just do a few layers of the gesso or the acrylic primer and let it dry between each layer. Usually this is about 3 or 4 layers, but for paper I just do 2. It's important to make sure it's completely dry between each layer. Next, I start drawing out the outline of the koala that I'm trying to draw. Again, this is just a sketch, it's nothing very good, I don't really spend much time on it, but I start by drawing out the basic shapes. I am using a reference photo. I think the reference photo was from Pixabay. If you are looking for reference photos, head over to studiowildlife.com because we have a blog post all about how to choose those reference photos for your wildlife drawings and paintings. But anyway, I just use the pencil, just a regular HB pencil, just blocking in the shapes. I don't usually draw like this, usually it's a bit looser, but for the purpose of this I was trying something new. It's a sketchbook, it doesn't really matter. So I started by just blocking in the basic shapes and then going back over them with a little bit more refinement, just to bring out those details and drawing everything a little bit better. When I'm thinking about perspective, one of the things I do is draw a cross on the animal's face, and that allows me to position the eyes, the nose and mouth in the correct lines. I did actually struggle with drawing this one. It does not look very realistic. It is very much an ugly cartoon koala. But not everything I do is good. It's all practice to get better, and it is a sketchbook, so the purpose of those sketchbooks are to just get out your ideas and try new things. So I really recommend painting and drawing in sketchbooks if you don't already. So I'm finishing up the drawing now, adding in the tree that koala is sat on. I always find it's really important to give the animals that you're painting space to be in. Don't just paint the animal, or I mean you can do, but I always find it's better if you give them an environment to sit in. Whether that's an abstract environment or a realistic environment, that doesn't matter, as long as they've got space and they are sitting in something. So I'm using Paynes Grey. I'm using the Arteza brand of paint, so first up it's Paynes Grey. Then I use Mars Black. I'll put all the paints in the description so that you can see them below. Next it's Mars Brown. Then I use some titanium white. I really like these Arteza paints. They dry a little bit quickly and they leave a bit of a plasticky finish, but it's perfect for my sketchbooks. Then I use a phthalo blue or phthalo blue, I don't really know how to pronounce that one. Just pop down that titanium white and phthalo blue or phthalo blue so you can see them. Then I've got a bit of raw umber. and then a bit of light sap green. Okay, so these are pretty much all of the colours that I'll be using for this painting. You can see them all there on the right hand side. And I'll be using mostly this small angled brush. Okay, so I will just clear those paints out of the way first. And then we'll make a start by mixing the Paynes grey with a little bit of white to create a grey colour, or a lighter grey colour. I use Paynes grey because it's got a nice blue tint to it, which is really nice when you want a colder feel to your grey. So I just start by blocking in a basic wash, or a basic block in of a solid colour. In this case, I'm using that mix of titanium white and Paynes grey. Okay, so I'll speed that up for you now, so that you can see it sped up and you don't have to wait for me to paint it all. So start by just blocking in that grey and then lightening it up by adding a little bit more white. Then adding in the shadowy areas. And then blocking in the tree in the background and the sky in the background. And next, I'm just building up the basic colours on the tree. I do have a little bit more detailed video on how I paint my trees, so I will pop that up in the corner here for you, and I'll also put a link down in the description below. So I'm just using that small angled brush just to add sort of the appearance of fur. I'm not needing to be too detailed because it's only a tiny little sketchbook, so I'm only giving the appearance of fur, and then I'm using a small detail brush to glaze over new colours over the top. Okay, so again, glazing colours, glazing light and shadow, using that small detail brush just to build up the colours and add a little bit more depth to the piece. Okay, I finish it off by adding some trees and some branches and some leaves, and then that's pretty much it. It's only a sketch, it's nothing massive, just a practice, just a way to get a little bit of drawing or painting done. And then the best bit is to peel it off with the masking tape. So sometimes when I'm peeling things off, I find that it sticks to the paper and pulls the paper a little bit. So the solution to that is to get a hairdryer, give it a quick blast with a warm hairdryer, and it'll melt that glue and it will all peel away much easier without pulling up the paper below. Right, so just peeling it away now and leaving that nice clean edge. This is pretty much the finished sketch. It is just a sketch, so it's nothing amazing. You could do this at home quite easily. It took me about an hour in total. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to give us a like and subscribe to the channel, and head over to studiowildlife.com for more wildlife art tips.